Y'all come on in. Make yourself comfortable. Please find yourself a place where you can sit down and listen without being disturbed, where you can clear your mind, where you can do some critical thinking along with me. If you tried to join us at the 9 o'clock hour, you can see that they came right out the gate and tried to shut it down. So you know that what I'm about to speak out of my mouth is going to be nothing but the truth. And the truth will set you free. If not physically, maybe mentally. If not mentally, maybe spiritually. If not spiritually, maybe financially. But either way, somebody gonna get free up in here by the time I'm done. I'd like to say shalom and greetings to all of my brothers and sisters out there. I'd like to say a salute to all of my members of the NFAC that are tuned in tonight. You know who you are. We don't have to fly a logo no more. We don't have to show you who we are, and you can't hide behind acting like you're one of us. Oh, no. We put an end to all of that. Mask off, so we can see what we're working with, because there's a lot of people working behind the scenes to make sure that this doesn't get talked about, that you all just continue to use social media for meaningless, stupid stuff, or that they can control you, what you think, what you see, how you digest it, and how you make decisions based on what they allow you to see. That's why they're going to interrupt this live stream, because I'm going against the grain. You know that they're going to make it so you can't comment on here because you're going against the grain. They don't want you telling everybody, preach black man. They don't want to hear that. They don't want somebody saying, I know that's right. They don't want to see. They want you to sit there and keep on arguing amongst yourselves and amongst each other, and who's this and who's that and who didn't do this and who was more right. They want y'all to keep arguing, because as long as y'all arguing with each other, you can't argue with them. I think I just said a word right there. Tonight, we got something to deal with, because once again, you know, it was the great Maya Angelou that said, history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again. And it looks like a few, well, no more than a few. It looks like a lot, well, more than a lot. It looks like almost all of you have forgotten that which wasn't that long ago. You see, if you consider long ago, to me, long ago was the Revolutionary War. Long ago was 1776. Long ago was when the Portuguese slave trade first started. Long ago, to me, was 25 dynasties ago in Egypt. Long ago was when we go all the way back to the Sumerians and the Phoenicians. Long ago. That's long ago. Long ago is not my uncle that just passed who was 80 years old, because that's not that long ago. Long ago is not when you tell me that my great-grandfather passed, because I still remember that some folks I know today still remember him. So that wasn't that long ago. But if you tell me one more time that slavery was long ago, it should be forgotten. 150 years? 156 to be exact? No, cousin, that wasn't that long ago. Because there could still be some people that are still alive who are the descendants of those people who were raised in those houses, who still have those same frames of mind. I know there's a few folks on here right now saying, well, I don't know what that got to do with what's happening today, and that's your problem. You don't understand that if you don't understand your past, if you don't learn from your past, then some people will begin to notice that you don't remember what we did to you. You acting like we all right with you right now. You really not mad about all the heinous stuff that we did to you before. So we gonna slide on in here with you and act like we your friends. So when it does come back, we're gonna act like we're appalled too. So it's like the person who stole something from you and they out here helping you look for it. When we look over here, what about them? What about you? And y'all know here on Factz Ova Feelings, I'm gonna give you what you missed. You see, while you caught up in your feelings, you missed a couple facts over here. You understand? As a matter of fact, you're looking at it from this side while I'm looking at it from this side. And I need y'all to know what's behind the curtain sometimes. You see, we're a powerful people. We're an emotional people. We're a passionate people. Matter of fact, when you piss one of us off, it's to the highest level of festivity. I'm trying to teach y'all something tonight. I'm going to show you something that you didn't even notice. I'm going to help you out. Yes, I have talked. Hold on, I got to stop. We just hit 444 on the number of people. If you don't know the significance of the number 444, let me sidebar you real quick. 444 means that your guardian angel. 444 means the Kodash Matakim that's assigned to look over your soul while you're here. 444 means they're with you. They're watching you and they like, bro, do what you gonna do. Every time, if you having a 444 week, 444 on the clock, you woke up at 444, you saw a license plate that said 444. The number came up 444. That is not something that's trying to tell you it's just a coincidence. He communicates in mathematics towards you. They letting you know we here, do you. We can't interfere, but we here, do you. That's what that means. That means I just, when you're playing when you're playing the little game, you get that bonus, ding, 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 ding. I just hit one. So to all of the Kodash Matakim that are sitting back watching what's happening right now in this season that we're in, as I speak to my people, just my people, I'm not talking to nobody else. See, y'all need to go talk to your peoples and stop being so nosy and coming up in what we doing. This is our moment. You see, you know how y'all say it takes a village to raise a child? Sometimes it takes a village just to have a goddamn meeting. And that's what we're trying to do right here. That's why they interrupting us. That's why they blocking a lot of y'all. That's why you don't get no more alerts. But I will tell you one thing that I'm real curious about. They've eased in all these little features that they didn't tell y'all about. Oh yeah, Instagram has a few more features. No big announcement. But they're there. You find out when you stumble upon them. But one of those that I've noticed is that they can place a cookie or they can place a piece of data on your phone or your tablet. So every time you touch their application, it identifies you. I erased Instagram from my phone. I deleted all the data. And guess what? When I reinstalled it, it came back doing all kind of magical shit that it wasn't doing before. As a matter of fact, I started functioning like a regular human being until you brothers and sisters showed up. As soon as you showed up, they pulled the plug, didn't they? Oh, yes, they did. Because they go, here he come again with the damn truth. So let us begin. You know, I could start by talking about what's happening here on the ground. But I can't do that first. What I have to do is I have to take you back and unpack and make you understand why we have a problem right now. So let's go back. We're going on back. First, I have to talk about something that I hear a few people trying to talk about, but they never get it right. You know, it's amazing to me when someone who doesn't fully understand a topic wants to turn around and teach you about the topic. And then when you question them on the topic, they get defensive and call you stupid. That has got to be the most asinine fact. That's why a lot of people can't teach y'all about our true worship. That's why they can't teach y'all about our true text. That's why they can't put together the critical thinking so you can stop asking dumb questions, because they don't understand it they damn self. They got it from somebody else. It is written because you too were at one time just like them. So when you hear people talk about, well, I'll give you a prime example. And this is me. Remember, I'm here to break the slave mentality. I'm here to shatter the brainwashing. I know it's hard. You're comfortable in that brainwashing. It's like a comfortable blanket. And I'm trying to snatch your ass up out of it. And a lot of y'all fighting me trying to go back. We can't move ahead as a people until, like in the great words of Erykah Badu, you got too many bags. You're gonna hurt your back. And this is a light flight that we going on right now. You can't bring all that with you. You gotta leave some stuff behind, even if it's things you carried all your life. The curse of Ham was actually placed upon Ham's son, Canaan. That occurs in the book of Genesis. Y'all know the story. It was imposed by the patriarch Noah. Y'all know who Noah was, because if you know anything about Enoch, you know that in the lineage of where Noah came from, Enoch was his grandfather. So it was Noah that put the curse on Ham's son, not on Ham. Y'all half-ass teaching. Don't teach if you don't know what you're talking about. He placed the curse on his son Canaan. You mean the land of Canaan? No, you dumbass. There was no land at the time. It was just Canaan. That lets you know that he would then go forth and birth a whole group of people, and that the land they would have to come take. But then I started teaching a little bit about the Nephilim, and then the story get all twisted up because you're going to sit there and say the Nepha who? And I was like, your nephew. No, the Nephilim, which was the offspring of the fallen angels that they don't teach you about in church, because that's how they'll lose control of you. But now here we go. We done went through the fallen angels. We done went through Enoch. We done went on down the line. Noah done came. He done survived the goddamn flood. Everything's supposed to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. But then what happened in Canaan? What happened in Canaan was the remnants of the Nephilim was still there. Who the hell do you think, when they say David and Goliath, who do you think he was fighting? He wasn't a giant. Y'all just let that go in one ear and out the other. A giant what? A giant man. Well, who in the hell was a man that was so giant? You don't understand the Nephilim. You see, Yehudah was destroyed all they physical, but he couldn't destroy their spiritual the same way your spiritual cannot be destroyed. That's why they trying to fight for it so much. For we battle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. How many times have I heard this? And it never made no sense until we got into 2020. Did none of this stuff make sense to y'all? Till we got into 2020. Oh, 2020 came around the curve. 2020 sneezed on you and it killed you. 2020 put radiation in you through your cell phones. 2020 came around and showed you that if you thought he was a racist, if you thought he was half-ass crazy, if you thought he didn't give a damn about you, he gonna show y'all now because he's matching exactly what's described in the scriptures. How you think it's gonna get so bad that they have to destroy everything until things get bad? And now that things are getting bad, y'all sitting around like, I cannot believe the shit is this bad. Yes, it's this bad because it's got to be this bad, because all these things must come to pass. Everything that's happening today, every nasty, filthy, disgusting, criminal, make you want to cry, tear up shit was supposed to happen. But y'all sitting around like you was going to miss it. Oh, no. Remember, y'all special. Y'all are peculiar people, right? So guess what, peculiar people? You get the peculiar ride. You think you VIP? We got a seat for you in VIP. You want to go first class? You gonna get the main ride. It's happening right now. And the problem, I'm going to tell y'all don't heard me teach on this many times. A lot of our problem is that when it actually shows up, it doesn't look like what we think it should look like, so we reject it. If you don't believe in fire, don't worry. Fire believes in you. If you think that you can't be burnt up, the fire don't give a damn about that. Burn your ass up. If you sit here and think that you have a high threshold for pain, that you have a high threshold before somebody can tick you off, let somebody put you under the right pressure, say the right thing to you, click the right trigger, and all of a sudden, you're just like everybody else. That's what we need to talk about tonight, because there's a lot of people who will sit there and look at me and say, well, you know these are cursed people because of the curse that was put on. You don't know no more scripture than a man in the moon. No, you don't. Let's go ahead and break it down. The exact transgression of the nature of Ham's transgression and the reason that Noah cursed Canaan when Ham had sinned. I've been debating that for over 2,000 years because you don't want to admit the truth. The story's original purpose was to justify the subjection of the Canaanites to the people, to the Israelites. That was a justification to rule on them. And then in later centuries, that same narrative was taken and it was interpreted by Christians, Muslims, and Jews as an explanation for black skin. They actually sat there and took something that was in the scriptures and turned it around. Notice who did it. I'm going to say it again. Christians, Muslims, and Jews. Now notice the groups I'm naming. None of them were black if you know their origins. Not the ones I'm talking about, because they were trying to explain you. They was trying to figure you out. They was trying to draw a line between you and them, because there was no way that they could rationale that we are living melanin. They could not understand that we are walking gold. That's why they had to draw this line, because they couldn't be us, and they damn sure couldn't absorb us, and they couldn't kill us, so they had to come up with something. So they went back into our scriptures and turned it around on us and said the reason that y'all black is a curse, and a lot of y'all bought it tooth, line, and sinker. To this day, you think that it's a curse to be melanated. Y'all, pardon my language, y'all got us all up. You know what I'm saying? So, because of that, nevertheless, nowadays, most Christians and Muslims and Jews, they now disagree. See, they know that ain't true. They know that they ain't got none that they know, because you know that they rewrote religion. They rewrote the scriptures. We all know that. If you're still sitting around clutching a King James version, I feel sorry for you. I really do. And I know some of y'all that just burn you to hear that. But just think about it. Since the first day they sat you down and stuck that book in your face, you've had questions that nobody, well, you should never question it. Oh, so I shouldn't question why 2 + 2 don't equal 4? Man, if you don't get out my face with my people ain't that goddamn stupid. But that's cool. We're going to get back to that in a minute. Some people actually believe that because of that piece of information, it justifies what they do to us. That because we are cursed by the Creator, hey, they can't hurt nothing. They already cursed. They believe this. Even when it's been proven to be incorrect, they hang on to it. You understand what I'm saying? Now you have to remember that people with that mindset don't see you as a human being. They see you as a cursed creature, as if they're perfect, as if we curse, and because we curse, they perfect. Did it ever occur that both of y'all might be cursed? We curse for being black, but they damn sure cursed your ass for being white. That's why you can't even sit in his son. That's why you can't do the things that we can do. That's why you can't create none of the stuff that we create. You see, we might have been cursed to have hard bondage and slave and all that shit for us for the rest, but you was made stupid with no rhythm, no creativity, no ability to build anything on your own, and to be a thief, a liar, a rapist. See, that's your curse. But you want to project those things on us. Y'all remember this old saying? Whatever a person accuses you of doing, it's something that they would do if they was in the same situation. You ain't even had a thought in your mind. He was reaching for his waistband. I don't even care, goddamn. What's a waistband? I go commando. Then what I got going for me now, huh? That's some shit you put on me. Don't fit. I'm trying to talk to y'all tonight. Because let's start at the beginning. And I was going to do this at the end, but we're going to deal with this right now. Now watch what they told you, and watch what I'm about to tell you. Y'all ready? Here we go. We had a situation in Palmdale. A man got lynched. Oh, they said it was a suicide, but the man got lynched. And everybody, we all upset. Oh, it's the old head is back again. Because they trying to get us. Y'all don't understand. It's still triggers. They're still trying to bait you. They got the FEMA camps ready for us. They done turned the Walmart into a FEMA camp. Every store you see that's still standing with the lights on, that is a place for them to corral you. They need y'all to get in the streets and act a fucking fool for real. Y'all ain't done it yet. So now they got to try to find a trigger. And so far, every trigger has not worked, because there are those of us in our own community that saying, hold on, wait a minute, motherfucker. We play chess, not checkers. We don't jump to conclusions. We make masterful moves to get you in checkmate, because you're going to have to make masterful moves to try to get us in checkmate. Yes, we're strategists now, too. We watch what you do. No, I don't have to run out in the middle of it when I can sit up on the hill and watch the whole operation go down just like y'all do. So the triggers. So watch now. The boy got lynched in Palmdale. Everybody was right here. Then they said, oh, wait a minute. Another one that got lynched 50 miles away. Now we right here. Then they turn around and said, oh, up another one got lynched up in New York City. Oh, we up here. They're appealing to your base instincts. I got some strong brothers I talk to every day in the NFAC, and bruh, I can't take it no more, Jay. I need you to tell me something. Right here. And then if that wasn't bad enough, they then come back and say, we got another one in Houston. They notice it's all happening back to back. What does it give you the impression of? That all of a sudden, somebody or somebody is just riding around, grabbing black men. It's the same case. They're all 27, 28. Notice they all 27, 28, 38. It's this little range of people that's all of a sudden, they getting grabbed up. And they just waiting for us to get in the street and act a goddamn fool. But I keep telling y'all, and I'm only going to tell you this one more time. If we don't respond, you don't respond, because we see something that you don't. Now let me tell you what really happened. I hope that y'all are listening. Wherever you are, you might want to tell a friend that didn't make it, because now I'm about to spit some truth to you. And it goes like this. We facts over feelings tonight. Put your feelings in the parking lot. And let me talk to you a second. Before you go do something stupid, before you do something rash, before you do something with not thinking but feeling, and they got all these images on TV, they got the pictures, they got everybody coming up with all these statistics, but what they're not telling you is I was right there with you. But then I went and did some investigations. And I said, that's strange. So here's the first thing. Stay with me now. On May 31st of this year, and today is the 15th of June. So this is almost 2.5 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. On May 31st, which was Memorial Day weekend, a homeless man was found hanging from a tree in Victorville, California. His name was Malcolm Harsh. He was 38 years old. And what happened was, there is a homeless community where all the homeless people, there's a little encampment where the homeless people are. The homeless people said that he was one of them. This was a homeless man living with the homeless people. They found him hanging from a tree right there where the homeless park was. They took him down. He was still alive. They attempted CPR on him while somebody called 911. 911 came. The people sent out the EMS. They came, scooped my man up, took him to the hospital. He didn't make it. Okay? Now, this was not in some secluded place in the dark where nobody saw what happened. This was a man that had moved from Ohio to California, and he had fallen on hard times. And he was living in the homeless shelter. And I don't know how many of my California folks are here on the live, but I've been out to LA. I've seen the blocks and blocks and blocks of homeless people that are being created by them driving up the real estate value and gentrifying the neighborhoods. People with good jobs are homeless in LA right now. Somebody better go out there and talk to them. I'm trying to tell you, not one block, not 2 blocks, an entire community of homeless people that are living right there in the shadow of the wealth of Los Angeles. So there are people out there doing bad. I don't know how many of y'all been following me for a few years, but if you remember, it had to be about 3 years ago when I was in Los Angeles. I was actually downtown in Hollywood, and I was playing the tourist role. I had just started at Warner Brothers, so I decided to go out and be a tourist. And while I was in Los Angeles with all this wealth, with all the stars, with all the, all the athletes, with all the entertainment, the capital, all of that, I witnessed a homeless person being abused by a bunch of tourists. And I don't know if y'all saw that video, and it bothered me so much I went over. Not only did I rescue the guy and ran off the people that were abusing him, because see, they were white boys picking on someone that was less fortunate. The man wasn't even begging. The man was just sitting there. You know, when you homeless for real, when you got that little nub of a cigarette and you just nursing it because that's all you got. He couldn't even hold his head up. And they were picking on, kicked his money in the street. The sister girls tried to help him. It was 2 sisters. I'll never forget. 2 sisters went over like, hey, what are you doing? And the white boys turned around, ooh, get away. And they went back to picking on this. So I went over there and put on my brother face and told them to hold my shopping bags. And they said, well, what are you going to do? Step back and watch a black king go to work. And I confronted all of them. I said, first of all, everybody back the fuck up. You too, everybody. What the fuck going on up in this motherfucker? What? They don't know me. But they knew that I wasn't playing with them. So they all fell back, and I bent down and I talked to the homeless guy. I talked to these people. I talked to the homeless because you could be homeless tomorrow. Everybody came from somewhere. Everybody got a story. Everybody. And I will never forget what he said to me. I said, brother, man, what you doing out here? He said, I'm waiting. I said, well, what you waiting for? He said, I'm waiting for my blessing. I said, well, how long you been coming down here? He said, I've been coming down here for 9 years. I said, you've been coming down here to the Hollywood Boulevard for 9 years to sit in front of the Chinese theater? For what? Why would you sit here? He said, because I feel my blessing is going to show up right here. And I said, well, brother, man, who are you? What did you do? I never asked him his name, but he was homeless in the place that's supposed to be the most wealthiest country on earth. And I said, well, bro, he said, well, I was in the army and I came home and I was living with my moms. My mom's passed and the house was in her name. And because the house wasn't in my name, the Veterans Administration will not give you your benefits if you don't have an address. So I lost everything. I had a guitar. I used to play it, but then somebody stole it. And ever since then, I just been sitting here waiting for maybe I'll get the chance again to, earn a living playing music. And I listened to this dude and I said, there's no such thing as a throwaway human being. No one is disposable. No one. And if you've been sitting here for 9 years waiting for your blessing to come, then you can stop waiting because your blessing just showed up. And I said to him, just like Yeshua said, now get up, pick up your mat and go and pursue what it is that you want to do. And then I gave him, I'm not going to tell y'all the number. It was more money than he had ever seen in his life. And I didn't film it. I don't give a damn about that recognition. This was between me and him. A lot of people filmed it because they couldn't believe what they were seeing. They thought it was an act. I never asked him for his name, but I sent him on his way and I told him, if I come back down here, I'm going to go from one end of Sunset Boulevard to the other. And if I catch your ass out here doing anything but playing the guitar for somebody, I'm going to get my money up out your ass. Do you understand me? He shook his head. He cried. I cried. We hugged. It was a great moment. The man gone about his business. He was a broken man because he had lost everything. So I understand the plight of the homeless when you've gone somewhere and you've lost it all and you can't get a break and you're down and out. That's who this man, Malcolm Harsh, had become. And anybody who's contemplating suicide, I encourage you to go get help. Don't just sit there and think that the only way out is to take your life. In this particular instance, this happened on May 31st. But there were no media headlines about a lynching. Matter of fact, we didn't even hear nothing about that at all. Because we was all wrapped up in what? George Floyd. Matter of fact, we didn't hear nothing about that because prior to that, we was wrapped up in Ahmaud Arbery. But there was no breaking headlines around June the 1st about a man being lynched in California. We didn't hear nothing about that. Now I want to roll the clock ahead to June the 9th. And remember, today is the 15th. On June the 9th, there was a suicide, as they reported, in Manhattan Park. This happened last Tuesday. There were no media headlines. There was no breaking news that this young man was found in the park on the upper side of near the Hudson River in Manhattan. He was in the park, and they said that the police went and took him down. And, they didn't rule it was a suicide right away. They came out with the coroner's report later, said, yes, it was a suicide. There was an autopsy and so forth. But there was no breaking headline around June the 10th about a man lynched in the park. I didn't see that. I checked. But then, watch this. Y'all stay with me. June the 10th, a man gets found in Palmdale, California. And it looks suspicious as hell. It still looks suspicious as hell. We still haven't seen the videos. They haven't come with the, at first they said that nobody know nothing, didn't see nothing, but now people say there's cameras all over the goddamn place. So y'all come on, cut this shit short. The problem I have with this, and this is what I need to make y'all aware of, these are all tragic stories. But the media is hyping you up because they got you under the impression that they all happened back to back. that they all happen within hours of each other. One on this day, one on that day, and then the next day this one. Y'all stop, pump your goddamn brakes. Don't let the media pump you up to some shit that ain't true. One dude died almost 3 weeks ago. They didn't say shit about that. Somebody else died almost a week ago. They didn't say shit about that. But as the shit began to die down, notice as the George Floyd shit started to die down, then that brother decided to shoot that boy in the back down there. Let's not make this about that. We want to keep y'all focused on this lynching shit that's going on. So now a lot of people walking around extra gassed up because y'all think that, oh, they lynching people, it's back. Oh, no, it's not back. What happened to these 3 people is tragic, and they should be investigated, especially the last one. But I'm not about to let the media paint a false narrative that white people is on the loose lynching people every hour on the hour. Y'all letting them stoke the flames on you. Look, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but there's a book that everybody needs to read, and the book is by Edward Bernays. If you've never read the book Propaganda, Propaganda is the book that they use to control your mind. It's broken down into organizing chaos, the new propaganda. Who are the new propagandists? The psychology of public relations. PR people know what I'm talking about. Business and the public. See, I know all this. I keep it right up here. Propaganda and political leadership. The women's activities and propaganda. Propaganda for education. Propaganda for social services. Art and science. The mechanics of propaganda. They wrote this in 1928. It's the same book that they used to convince you that smoking cigarettes was sexy and that fluoride was good for your teeth. This is the same man that turned around and Hitler used the same book to convince everybody in Germany that Jews was the cause of the problem and we need to march their ass to the ovens. That's the same book they're using against you right now. All you got to do is look what they're doing with these cases of some of these. Listen, everybody didn't get lynched. Okay. People still do commit suicide. Okay. And y'all not going to take every instance and throw it at us like, look, they're lynching people. Ooh, look. Ooh, so that y'all can do something stupid and give them what they want. Y'all still don't get it. They trying to push your ass into motherfucking martial law. Y'all ain't got to believe me. Y'all will never want to believe me. Go on out there and take your simple ass out there and do it. Do something stupid so that that idiot in the White House can say, well, the black people are a threat. So we're just going to lock the black people down and then our problem will go away. Ain't nobody trying to fall for that dumb shit. Y'all ain't with me tonight. Y'all don't understand. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry about what's happening, but I'm more angry that most of us are not listening to what we already know. Let me educate you real quick. Throughout the late 19th century, racial tensions grew throughout the United States. And most of this tension was noticeable in the southern parts of the United States. In the South, people were blaming their financial problems on the newly freed slaves that lived around them. Of course they would. Who did all the work? Where was all your value? Your value was in us. Well, you don't have us no more. So of course you broke. You didn't know how to do shit for yourself. So your lazy, nasty ass sat around and got mad at the very people that you enslaved, that you do everything for you, was now doing for themselves. And you punk ass, weak, inferior people got angry about it. So lynchings became a popular way of resolving some of the anger that white people had in relation to free black people. Y'all don't understand that between 1882 and 1968, 4,743 lynchings happened in the United States. And of those people that was lynched, 3,446 of them were black. The blacks that got lynched accounted for just 72%. That white folks was getting lynched too. But them numbers seem large, but here goes the part that y'all don't get. Not all the lynchings were ever recorded. Out of the 4,743 people lynched, only 1,297 of those people was white that we know of. That's only 27%. And many of those whites that got lynched, they got lynched for helping blacks or being anti-lynching. They even got lynched for domestic crimes. So was lynching necessary? To many people, it wasn't. But to the white people in the late 19th century, it served a purpose. And this is what y'all don't remember. Whites started lynching because they felt it was necessary to protect white women. Now, my brothers, coming from one of those who never has and never will. Oh, no, 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 no. I've never crossed that line. White women, you might as well go and get out my DM, get off my live, stop trying to slide through. Bruh, don't go that way. Never went that way, ain't never gonna go that way. Has nothing to do with you, has everything to do with me. I am God personified. I am the melanin source. I have the superior DNA. I am not here to help you continue your weak bloodline. So I don't look at you that way. The best thing that y'all built for me is a sister, okay? All of them might not be perfect, but damn it, I'll go through every last one of them until I get to the one that's perfect for me. So don't come with that bullshit. At the end of the day, every black man, I don't care whether you're doing it now, done it before, you taking your life in your hands every time you decide to cross over the train tracks and mess around with the pinky toe. I'm calling them what they is. And what ends up happening is when the shit goes south and you get killed, everybody, oh, he was such a good guy. No, the fuck he wasn't. He broke the cardinal rule that will get you still killed in their particular neck of the woods. Y'all think that they still not shooting black brothers because they dating white sisters? What the hell you think happened in some of these killings that they don't want the truth to get out because they know it'll start a race war? All you sister girls out there that's running around with the white men, that's your choice. But guess what? You have crossed the line too. You can't come back with that bullshit and bring that Edomite blood into our all black community. So you might as well go and log off right now too. And some people will hit me in my DM and be like, well, I don't know what, because I'm trying to protect and preserve what's left of the black race. That's all. Can we preserve us? While y'all so busy infiltrating and integrating, can we preserve us? Can a pure black brother find a pure black sister mentally, spiritually, and physically? Is that okay with y'all? No, it's not, because it means that we survive. And that's not what you want to see right now. You don't want to hear this. You want to hear some comfortable tea. You want somebody to say something that appeal to your lower vibrations. You know what? Let me tell you the craziest part before I take my sip here. You know, the craziest part is some of the very people that you listen to, they're not hooked up with you. People always want to step up and speak for the black folks, but they ain't hooked up with black folks. I never understood that. How you gonna get out here and say that you are pro this and pro that, but you don't practice that in your lifestyle? How can you tell me what's best for me and my people when what you do shows that it's not best for me and my people? How can you tell me that what I'm doing is wrong with my people when you don't do anything with my people? Matter of fact, you should shut up. You can't speak here. You cannot speak here because I don't hear you. See, I got a filter to bullshit like we all do. So you can get your feelings hurt all you want, but the truth is the truth. I didn't make it up. I'm just explaining it to you. Now, when you get back to this whole lynching situation, you got to also remember that there was a time that most of those lynchings, they happened in the South. Okay? A big reason for this was that the end of the Civil War, once blacks was given their freedom, many people felt that the freed blacks was getting away with too much freedom. And they felt they needed to be controlled. I got to stop right there and say that to you again. Listen to what I just said. A lot of white folks felt that we had too much freedom. I didn't know you could measure motherfucking freedom. I'm done now. I had to sit back. Where's my water? Y'all hold on. I got too much freedom. I got too much freedom? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't do this normally. But white folks, I have a question. Who the fuck made you the authority on who's free and who's not with your caveman dwelling ass? I'm sorry, I can't keep it in no more. That just blows my fucking mind. You didn't invent shit. You didn't build shit. You didn't create shit. You stole shit. Yet you gonna sit here and tell somebody who's free, who's not. We was too free. Man, we felt that we needed to be controlled. I know I got some people all around the world that's trying to understand where my rage comes from. I know there's some people that sit back and say somebody even wrote down that I was too aggressive. What the fuck is that? Somebody else said that, well, you know, he's too strong. I don't know what that means either. But what I do know is this, and that is this. Mississippi had the highest number of lynchings in 1882 to 1968. They had 581. Georgia, good old Georgia, where all our troubles have been, they were second, 531. Texas, they came in third at 493. 79% of all the lynchings happened in the South. And of the lynchings that did not take place in the South, they happened mainly in the West. California, where normally the lynchings of whites got lynched, not black folks. Matter of fact, most of the lynchings in the West came from the lynching of either murderers or cattle thieves. There was really no political link to the lynching of blacks in the South and the whites in the West. Those two totally separate things. But notice who's doing it and who's using the same techniques. Matter of fact, a lot of y'all don't notice, but there's a lot of states that didn't lynch people. Some states didn't lynch a white or a black person. Alaska, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut. Them states had 0 lynchings between 1882 and 1968. And even though some states did have lynchings, some of them didn't lynch any blacks. Arizona, Idaho, Maine, Nevada, South Dakota, Vermont, and Wisconsin were some of the states where they lynched people, but they didn't lynch not one black person. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep going until y'all understand this. See, we've been through all of this. So y'all getting upset now that y'all are under the false impression that we've had all these lynchings in a short period of time, when that is not the case, because certain individuals that work in the media, they have also the desire to manipulate you. I'm gonna call them out. I don't trust a goddamn thing that come from the Daily News, because that's where Sean King works. I don't trust him no farther than I can throw his white ass. So don't keep including him in shit, because they're the only ones that I could find that was the source of the story, who was sensationalizing about the guy getting lynched in the Manhattan Park. They running this shit today like it just broke. But nobody else ain't running that story. But I can find stories going all the way back to going back to June the 9th, where everybody mentioned it there. We know there was a suicide and this, that, and the third, but it wasn't breaking news. And why is it breaking news now? Because somebody's trying to feed into a narrative to get y'all pumped up, to get y'all fired up, because nothing else is working. They tried to get y'all to come to Tulsa and act up. Y'all didn't fall for that. They even tried to help y'all out with your own protests to make it look like you was madder than you was. That shit didn't work. Even in Atlanta, when the boy got shot in the back, it was the white folks that set the Wendy's on fire. Wasn't us. You see what I'm saying? They trying to trigger you. They trying they damnedest. And some of y'all are drinking the tea. Y'all drinking the tea. Y'all drinking it lock, stock, and barrel. I'm just here to let you know. I'm not saying that these are not crimes. Maybe they are. But the problem is the way that it's being presented to you. Even I would have to stop and say, well, hold on a goddamn minute. All this lynching going on and ain't nobody seen nothing? They're creating a false narrative to make you think that it's a coordinated effort all across the country. You see, in order for the president to enact martial law, there has to be a threat nationally. It can't just be a threat in one city to put all y'all in. So it's got to be something. Oh, they're doing it over here. Oh, they're doing it over here. We got 3 over here. They got 1 over here. How y'all feeling? My peoples, we're smarter than that, I hope. I really do. I just would like to say that if there's anybody out there that doesn't understand that there's always been a history of lynching, but just this past February, they created a hate crime for lynching. And see, the thing that's really strange to me is whenever the feds create a new law, they want to use it as quickly as possible. And I find it interesting that February 20th, they passed the Emmett Till Act, which makes a hate crime to lynch somebody in the United States. That's fair time. That I haven't heard a peep from the U.S. government, the Department of Justice, the FBI, any of the people who was running around talking about they was looking for black identity extremists. I ain't heard a goddamn thing. Matter of fact, it's been so quiet. I wonder, is the DOJ still under quarantine? Because these are clearly hate crimes, or they could at least be hate crimes, and y'all ain't said nothing. Wasn't this law specifically invented for this type of situation? Why are we sitting around trying to put some shit together on our own? Didn't you pass a law? So where are the investigators? Y'all looked for, when people was bootlegging liquor, y'all was doing more dough kicking down and rustling up and shooting people than they was of this shit. So if it is a conspiracy to lynch people across America, then y'all need to get on y'all job, because what, people on the loose? Or is it not really what you making it out to be? Are you taking individual situations because nothing else that you tried to trigger us worked? I'm just giving y'all something to think about, because they're triggering you right now. And all of y'all who sit on social media and share these videos over and over again, you're helping them. You're reinforcing them. Why do you think you don't see any more videos on my channel of the actual killings anymore? Why do you think you don't ever see me trying to throw up the latest headline? I stopped that shit because I realized that I was helping them. You understand what I'm saying? But show me the video of y'all arresting those officers. Oh, I'll put that shit up. Show me the toxicology reports and the autopsy reports. Oh, I'll put that shit up. You see, anything that helps our case, I'll put that shit up. And oh, I know they messing with y'all, just like y'all found out today. They cut your phones off. Yeah. If you haven't read 1984, you might as well go ahead and read it because you're living in a real live one. Or they can turn off anything with a flick of a switch if you don't do what they want you to do. And here's the last thing, and I hate to say this, but let me address white folks for a minute who think that it's lottie-dottie everybody over at your party. You about to get a wake-up call too. History has taught us that white people will turn on their own kind to be the king of the fucking hill. Remember, I said they marched people to the oven. Them was white folks they was putting in the oven. Yeah, they throw us in there too, but they was marching mainly them, which means all y'all who think we just get rid of the blacks, we'll be okay. You stupid motherfuckers. That's not what's gonna happen. This is not about color. It's about class. It's about money. So at the end of the day, y'all going ahead, good old boy Billy Bob and the hillbillies in the pickup trucks and shit, like the ones that just pulled the so-called drive-through down in Atlanta. Y'all going ahead and think that it's about y'all, and what's gonna happen is y'all gonna help them get rid of us, and they gonna get rid of some of you motherfuckers too, but y'all don't believe that. You can see they turning. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Black folks, stop acting like you taking all the credit for all of this shit that's happening out here with them tearing down these statues and erasing the Confederate flag and all of that shit. Remember, the Civil War was fought between white folks. Black folks was in the middle. And now that it look like the South has risen again, because all of this shit that we seeing came out of the South. Now the Northern motherfuckers are pushing back. There's a whole war that y'all don't see that's going on. Y'all don't see that. Who you think tearing all they shit down? Look who's setting shit on fire. That's they shit. But we are the prize. Y'all don't get it. Y'all really don't believe they could bring slavery back in the United States. Don't you know that slavery was legal at one time? Legal. It's the law. So I say all of that to say this. Yes, we do have some problems here with the racial situation here in America. Yes, we do. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to fly off the handle and go and do something stupid because they told you a bunch of shit in a certain order. Okay? Sometimes you have to look at why they say things to you the way they do. Remember, I taught you about neurolinguistics. Remember, 3 truths and a lie, always to influence your mental. And what I've always told you is he who controls the masses with the media, and a misinformed masses makes misinformed decisions. That's why they say things a certain way. And I wanted to let you all know that because when I looked at these cases, when I looked at this whole situation, every 5 minutes, somebody throwing something in my DM talking about, they did another one. They did. Stop being spooky and scary, y'all. We have got to stop playing the victim. Y'all play the victim so well. And you know, I'm not talking about what white people, they ain't got a victim mentality. I ain't talking about that. We're going to stop accepting apologies. That's what victims do. We're going to stop demanding justice. That's what victims do. We're going to stop being afraid that it might happen to us. That's what victims do. It has become part of our mentality. However, what we're going to do is start becoming, we're not victims. You're going to be the victim. We're not going to have to accept an apology. We're going to have to issue a few. We're not going to be the ones asking for change. You are. You see, the country's falling apart because there's nobody driving right now. Y'all already done found out that the people that could have been in charge of this country, they made sure you were blinded to them. So most of us are doing just as we're doing right now. You see, I too could have been your president, but they blinded y'all from that. That's water under the bridge. It's so fucked up right now. I wouldn't accept the presidency if they gave it to me because it's not the United States that needs to be saved. It's the continent of Africa that needs to be saved. It is the nation within the nation of people inside of the United States that need to be saved. I don't give a damn about the United States anymore. It can go to hell and burn as far as I'm concerned. I'm trying to save my people and get them to my people so we can regroup and get our shit together. And if any of y'all want to stay here on this sinking, burning ship with nobody at the fucking wheel, where everybody's starting to act out their true colors, then you do that. But either you do one of two things. You choose what side you're going to be on, because there will be no middle ground. You either going to be a victim or you're going to be an offender. And right now they're offending and y'all are being the victim. Yet y'all act like y'all ready for somebody to turn you into an offender. Well, that takes smarts. You want to turn into an attacker. That takes planning. You want to be able to live to fight another day. That takes resources. But most importantly, the one thing that I've been preaching every time I come on here is unity. Unity, unity, unify, organize, get together. Stop being afraid of the other person because they carry a different handkerchief. So what if he got red? So what if he got blue? When they blow a hole in your ass, it still comes out the same way. So what if they live uptown and you live downtown? When they come to get the people downtown, they come to get the people uptown too. Don't sit here and keep talking about your differences unless you can overcome your differences for a common enemy. Don't wait until some shit show up like COVID-19 that scared the shit out of everybody. Y'all forgot y'all differences real quick. There was no mass shootings. There was no police brutality. There was no black on black crime. There was no white. There was nothing, because we had a common enemy. And then all of a sudden, soon as that shit went out the way, everybody got right back to the same old shit. They became the offenders and y'all went back to playing victim again. Soon as they did some heinous shit, what did you do? Instead of going out and tearing some shit up and knocking the fucking motherfuckers in the head and shooting up in the air like y'all the Wild Wild West, what did you do? You went out there on the "We Are the World." I ain't trying to hear that right now. And I know I ain't the only one. I speak for a whole lot of people. We ain't trying to hear that no more. Everybody ain't into that marching and singing and shit no more. We tried that. That did not work. I wouldn't be here doing this, putting myself in the spotlight, putting my life on the line, even taking this risk, if I did not care so much for my people that I was willing to give my life for it. And let's be honest, y'all. I hear you. But if somebody don't step up and say something, sometimes you just look around the room and say, ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Y'all just gonna let this shit roll? Like, ain't nobody, I got this. It's like going to the family reunion. And you know when you go to the family reunion, that's when everything comes out. Secrets come out at the family reunion. That's really not your daddy. Secrets come out at the funeral. Can somebody come up and say a few good words about him? And the wrong person get up and somebody just can't keep it no more. Trouble come up at the wedding. If everything ain't straight, is there anybody here can show reason why this man or woman shouldn't be married? Or let them forever hold their peace. Excuse me, I can't believe you mess up y'all don't understand. Somebody got to say something. And I'm not talking about this. If I hear the word peace for one more time, there is no peace right now. Families are hurting right now. Loved ones are missing right now. And you want peace. You get peace when you give us peace. Now, what I love is the fact that those people who have a hard time hearing this, it's just, it hates you. And you hate to hear this. It hurts you to hear the truth, even if you know you done fucked up already. What I love is the white people, because you hate to hear the truth about yourself. Even if it's your ancestors that did it, you came from their bloodline. So I spit you out, just like I spit them out, because you haven't done a damn thing to change nothing. And then you have a nerve to look at me and my folks like we got a problem because you're benefiting from some shit that your people did to us. See, your people might be gone, but we're not. And those of us like myself who have the age and the wisdom and the memory and the intelligence and the connection to the Creator, we were sent here for one reason and one reason only: to kindly escort your ass out the side door. Let me explain something to all my NFAC people. You see, when it starts, and it's gonna start, I really hope y'all can read between the lines. When it starts, You're going to find out that a lot of people ain't built for this. Oh, you're going to find out that a lot of people that call themselves a militia are nothing more than a gang of white folks who done bought into their own hype. You see, we're a dangerous group in the daytime, but this black skin works for us in the dark. You remember that. In the meantime, brothers and sisters, I really hope that I brought some clarity that there is no rash of lynchings going on right now. So y'all bring it back down a notch. Yes, those 3 deaths need to be investigated, and we need to see cameras and all of that good stuff. But you're not going to, again, like I said, this is a chess game. You're not going to draw us out by linking a bunch of stories together and creating a false narrative to pump our people up. You don't have to rush. You're going to see black people on one accord, which is your worst nightmare. You're going to see black folks organized, which is something you don't think we're capable of. And you're going to see that we can form a force that you'd be a goddamn fool to run up against unless you just don't care about your family no more. On that note, I invite each and every one of y'all that is legally armed, that has a CCW that is recognized by the state of Georgia or the state of Nevada, long rifles, semi-automatic weapons. If you have a pistol and you can carry it on a shoulder sling or on your leg sling, open carried, and you have a license. Otherwise, if you just have a semi-automatic or you have a shotgun or whatever, you don't need it for that. But the rest of y'all, I would hope that you would make your way down to Atlanta, Georgia on July the 4th for the Black Formation. We need you in formation. If you can't get to Atlanta, then go to Las Vegas. Once you get to Vegas and once you get to Atlanta, you can join the formation. And we have a whole list of wonderful activities for you all to keep you occupied and to stimulate your mind. I look forward to meeting some of you in person. I look forward to swearing in a few of you into the NFAC. I also look forward at you all showing me that we can get on one accord and that we can exercise one of our constitutional rights that a lot of y'all have finally realized that, you know what, if they can do it, damn it, we can do it too. Now, to anybody who thinks that this is going to be something that you want to come and upset, I'm going to tell you right now, the rules of engagement are very clear. You point something at us, we're going to shoot you. Point the fuck blank. We're not starting anything, but you come down there and play that simple shit with these people, it's going to be the worst racial incident in U.S. history. And we're not going to be the victims. So don't even think about that. I don't come light and I don't talk for nothing and I don't make threats. I do deliver on my promises. Y'all seen me do that. That's the other thing I want to remind a lot of y'all of. Y'all forgot how this shit started. It didn't start with George Floyd. And it didn't start because of the fact that we all got out of quarantine. It started with the fact that black people got sick up to the point that we decided we're going to pull our shit out and come see you the way that you come see us. And then once y'all saw that, y'all like, oh shit, we can do that. Yes, you can do that shit too. Don't talk to me about what I should do when you ain't done shit. I've already done something. I really don't have to do anything else. But I want us all to do something. So please come and join us for the formation. Do not celebrate the red, white, and blue. Let us exercise these so-called constitutional rights that we've been given, which is the right for us to bear arms and open carry legally. Now, if you don't know what a formation is, if you don't know anything about the military, whenever we call the people together, we get into a formation. Not like Beyonce. Oh, I'm down to my last 28 seconds. I'll be back for the second hour of Factz Over Feelings. Y'all come back and join me. They're not cutting me off. It's just going to run down on the clock. I'll be right back. Y'all come on back and join me. You don't want to miss the details.